What's good, everybody? What's up? How y'all doing? It's been a minute, like 2 weeks, but not super long. I'm gonna plug my phone out for this. But it's been a while, and I was gonna record a video last week, and then I just never did it. I had a lot going on. It was my birthday, so I celebrated with some friends and family. It was cool, but I didn't really get to do a lot of like art or like creative stuff. So I think today, for like the rest of the day, I'm just gonna like do more drawings and things like that, and kind of just, we're gonna do a little sesh. We're gonna kind of like get some goals down. Maybe we'll share some stuff if you guys want to leave some comments below. I'm trying to do this thing where, because usually when I start channels, I tend to share them with people, and I'm like, yeah, I'm doing this thing. So I'm not gonna do that with this channel per se, but let me go get some paper because I wanted to oh my god. I can't find a damn paper. Okay. So I found some paper. Hold on, let me see if I can find more paper. Okay. I found some paper, but not necessarily all the paper that I would like to use today. But I have some Canson watercolor paper. Nothing too crazy. Strathmore. Like, these are like the brands that are kind of like more popular in America and maybe in Europe and some other places, but I'm just gonna use I think for now I'm gonna use a Strathmore, or should I use the Canson? I didn't want to draw it on that big paper, so I'm gonna use Strathmore. This is the 9x12, I believe. Yeah, 9x12. And I got a scanner recently, and I scanned some stuff on it, but like I haven't really I don't know if you can see, like there's like a pile of junk that's like next to right next to me, but I don't know if y'all can see it. But let me try to lower this a little bit so it's not hitting the thing when I go in. But everything's just been so crazy, so hectic, and just trying to like get my life together. And it's been really hard. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like I struggle with a lot of things, and I think like even trying to like do art consistently is like so hard for me. And I haven't done like art in years. Like, when I say like seriously like consistently try to do like any form of art, it's probably been like 5+ years where it's like, yeah, I want to like do something cool, make some illustration, anything like that. It's just been like a real struggle, and I just don't even know, like, how do you even tackle that, right? And for me, I kept telling myself I'm gonna work on this webcomic because I went to Europe in September, and it was a really good trip, and I was happy because I had a lot of time off to myself where I could just relax, and I didn't have to like worry about work, or like when I'm home, I'm also worrying about like, I need to clean this, I need to fix this, I have to do this and that, I have to prepare this, I have to get this done, like, because like I live in a tiny house, and a lot of stuff in my house is not completed, or not at a stage where I would like it to be, but I'm living in it. And the craziest part is just like, I'm always like in a state of like, I need to do this, so like my mind can't really relax, and I think it's just kind of like worsened a condition in my mind mentally. So I try to like do things that's gonna like um mediate that to a certain extent, or at least like try to like do things at least day by day where I'm not completely struggling with some things that I'm like going through, right? But I don't know. It's like it's a day by day thing. But when I was in Europe, y'all, like I truly was on my anime shit, bro. I'm gonna tell y'all this now. Like, if y'all didn't watch Sakamoto Days, if y'all, the new season of Jujutsu Kaisen is coming out, I think in January. I think it comes out in January, y'all. I'm so excited for season 3 of Jujutsu Kaisen. Like, I finished season 2 when I was in Europe. That shit was so good. Oh my god, it was so good, y'all. And I know some people are like, "Oh, the story's mad, this," and like everybody's like so overcritical of like these shonen titles, and I'm just like, y'all are doing too much. Just watch, read what you like, take what you can from it, and keep it pushing. Like seriously, man. Like they're like everybody's a critic. Like everybody's a fucking critic. Like what the fuck? Come on, man. But that shit was good, y'all. That shit was good. I was glued to my screen. I was glued to that shit. I was like, this shit was getting so real. It was getting so real so fast. So real, super fast. I that that was really one of those shows that I like watch, and I was like, yeah, like this was peak. In my opinion, I can't say that for everybody. Like everybody has their own opinion, but I thought JJK was peak, in my opinion. And then the next show I started watching, I think following JJK was Dandadan. Dandadan is so woo. Now that is my show. I'm tempted to start reading the manga because I literally just finished season 2 like a couple weeks ago. So I'm like, do I wait like a year or two like for season 3? Or do I just read the manga? And I did that with Demon Slayer, and unfortunately I did, because I like after season 2 I was like, nah. I gotta see what's up. Like this is crazy. Like this story is crazy, right? So for me, when I finished Demon Slayer and I was like, oh my god, I didn't watch season 3 yet. I watched a little bit of Infinity Castle, but like Loki, I already know what's gonna happen. Like I finished the series, right? But it's just something where I'm just like it's conflicting, because it's just like you want to, like you get so invested in a story, and then you're like, damn, like do I just start reading the book, like, or do I just wait? And sometimes I can't wait, right? Sometimes that does happen, right? And I think like there's certain series, like certain anime series, like I'll watch. Specifically, I will watch like Demon Slayer. I would prefer to watch. I did read it because I didn't really know what the artwork looked like, and I certain series I like to read if the artwork is really good. Like I prefer to read One Piece because I really like the artwork. I don't like to watch One Piece now. Anyways, One Piece before Marineford was, the animation was good to me. Now they like after time skip and all that, they went a little bit, the direction went a little bit too left field for me. So personally, I just was like, nah, this Oda lost me on this one. But I like that's not really his. I don't even think he really has a say over that, to be honest. I think that's pretty much the animation studio at the end of the day. And that's probably easier for them to animate. So I don't know. But at the end of the day, I just know that I don't like it. And for those reasons, I rather just read the book. But I haven't really consistently read One Piece in like several years, actually. Check this out, right? And I'm gonna get back into it eventually. Like I left off at Whole Cake Island, and that's where they were fighting Big Mom, all this shit. Blah blah blah. I was pretty much at the end of that arc, and then that's going into Wano, and I'm pretty sure Wano is done, and now they're going into Elbaf, some shit like that. But the series is kind of like coming to its conclusion pretty soon. Not like soon as in like this year or something, but it's like it's getting to the point where like it's getting on the last leg, right? And for me, like I love One Piece, right? That's one of the first animes that I started watching because it used to air on Kids WB, and I think it aired on Toonami as well. So like I used to watch that shit all the time, and I just thought it was so cool how Luffy has these rubber powers, and then he's just like finds these creative ways to use his powers. Like to me, that's some good writing right there. Like, come on, like you would swear like he would be getting his ass beat sometimes, and he does, right? Luffy does get washed, but he gets back up and he's like, nah, I'm gonna figure this shit out. What the hell is this? Oh, oh my god, sorry, I zoned that moment. But like I don't know, but it's I just really like that show. Like the whole series as a whole, great writing and fiction, great arcs. I love the art. I love the style. I truly adore that series. Like when I tell you I love One Piece, I love One Piece down. Like nobody can tell me shit about One Piece other than it's long. I like if your only argument for One Piece is that it's long. Okay, cool, whatever. I need to put my phone on silent. Okay, cool. You're right. It is long. It's long as shit. Read the book. Keep it pushing. That's all I gotta say. Read the book. Keep it pushing because like that's the only way, in my opinion. I think if you want to finish it fast, like you could read a book within like a month. If you well maybe like a month or 2 months because it's like 1,000 chapters, but the chapters go by quick though. Like when you read them, they go by quick. But I don't know. I just oof yo y'all when I was in my fucking One Piece bag when I was in my One Piece bag yo oof I was damn yo I really uh, that's a like when One Piece like comes to its conclusion and ends, it's gonna be so crazy because it's like that show has been like top on the top of the charts for like 20 years yo 20 how are you top of the charts for 20 years? That's crazy. Oda is crazy for that. That's crazy. I'm sorry, that's crazy. But that is a true passion project, and I appreciate somebody that really went in the lens to really realize their their goal, right? To finish their work. And it's crazy because as an artist, you think there's just so much you have to do and prepare and practice and just keep trying and all these things that these hurdles that you feel like you have to um experience, right? And there's these some of these people where they were just like, nah, I'm just gonna do it, and whatever happens happens, right? And to me, I think that's a lot of things that really hold people back. It's just a sense of like you want something to be perfect so bad that it's gonna inhibit you from just making things as you go. And I think a lot of times people kind of conflate that where like, oh, my drawing doesn't look good, or I can't draw these perspectives. And like I'm gonna show y'all a couple like pages that I'm doing with like my comic, right? The web comic that I'm working on. And I'm doing a traditional, like I'm not really a digital person. I do have my iPad. I could do it. I could draw the pages on my iPad, but I just don't want to do that. I just don't like that. I prefer watercolors. I prefer like I like when the pages look like this, right? That's what I like. But I just think that you know when you're so hung up on making something perfect, you'll never get it done, right? And then you'll never improve at the level that you want to improve because you're always concerned that your work doesn't look the way you want it to look, how you see other people's work. And I think that's a very hard thing to battle through. Sometimes people get really caught up in it, and sometimes people know how to power through that. And it's hard because it's just like, I think for me, I just know that I'm okay with things not being perfect. At this point in my life, I'm okay with it not being perfect, because when will it ever be perfect? When will it be at the level that I want it to be? Right? Because even when I was drawing some of these panels, let me see if I can find something that's like, I'm yawning. Let me see if I can find like a panel that I was struggling to draw. Like this one was kind of a struggle, right? I wanted the perspective to be a little bit more dynamic, but I really need to kind of like get all my references together when I do this more. And there's pages that look like this, right? Like very minimal detail. Like it's like, did I even care? But it's not that I don't. Like these are the sketches. These are the rough draft sketches. But everything is just gonna be on one page. So I'm gonna, once it's cleaned up, then I'll ink it. No, actually, once I clean it up. No, actually, I do have to ink it, and then I'm gonna color it in. Most of the pencil's gonna be there, honestly, because I'm not gonna try to, like, even like this page, right? I don't know if you guys can see it. I struggled drawing it. I did, and instead of like beating myself up, oh my god, it's not perfect. Oh my god, it's not this. Oh my god, it's not that. I had to tell myself, well, like, you're either gonna worry about it not being perfect, or you're just never gonna get it done because you're just so focused that you're not at the level that you're at, and what have you, and all these things. And the unfortunate part is, like, it takes a while to really get to where you want to be. And even when you get to where you want to be, there's gonna be somewhere else that you want to be. So it's a constant moving. It's a needle that keeps on moving. It doesn't ever stop. Right? It doesn't ever stop. It's a thing that keeps going. And you have to be somewhat okay these are food coloring, by the way. Well, some of these are acrylic watercolors and things like that, but a lot of these are like food colorings, and I'm just doing like test colors. And I think I have some blue. I'm gonna add some blue. And you just have to be okay with the things that are not perfect, right? Like, it's just, I really try to, like, I really want to encourage everybody to understand that, like, we're all constantly growing as people. We're all constantly growing as just individuals, and you have to be okay with not being where you're at right now, because that's just like life. Realistically speaking, like, you know, will anybody ever be where they want to be? Who knows? But I know that if you keep trying and you keep going, you're going to achieve so much, right? And I compare myself sometimes to, like, some of these, like, big manga artists that are, you know, well, manga's from Japan, but like these comic book artists, right, that are from Japan, let's just say that, right? Or like these writers, right? These artists, these individuals. It's you know, it's tough when you have this idea in your head and then you just feel like, oh my god, I have to get it out there. I want to create it. I want it, like, I want this to happen, right? You want it to happen so bad. But the issue is when you're so focused on it being like this perfect ideal thing in your head, you become so protective of it that you it gets to the point where you can't let it be imperfect, right? You can't accept anything but perfection out of it, and you can't see anything past that perfection. Very, very hard thing to really deal with. But let me see if I can like make sense with it. But it's just like when you like you want it to be a certain way so bad where like it's inhibiting you from even starting, right? Because how do most people start? Most people start because they're bad. Most people, you know, picked up a pencil or started drawing, like, I don't know, like maybe tracing Sailor Moon characters or like, you know, shit like that. And you know, when you're young and then you just kept trying to like draw your own thing and practice and draw Naruto sketches or whatever like your inspo was for back then, right? And it's crazy because like when people are younger, right? I don't think the level of fixation of like I need to be better is as prevalent as it is when you're like nearing like your teenage years versus like adulthood. Even in like your teenage years, in my opinion, I do feel like teenagers have a better sense of accomplishment where um when it comes to like seeing where you're at as a whole versus as like an adult, because like when you're a teenager you're kind of like in that space of like you don't really have those kinds of worries in your life where you're thinking, damn, like if I want to be an artist I need to be making money, I need to be doing this, like how am I going to live, how am I going to survive, like you're living with your parents, you're being taken care of, like you don't really have those kind of responsibilities where you're like, oh, okay, like you don't have those responsibilities where it's gonna inhibit you mentally to the point where you're like, oh my god, like I can't do anything. I have to follow like this specific path. Like when you're a teenager, you're more free and you're more likely to try different things because you don't have the struggle that's gonna influence you to not do what you want to do, right? Like, because you know, I think once you get older and you start to experience a different level of struggle, whether it's like finances, work, um, you know, like even like romantic relationship, like all types of things that you're gonna like struggle with, or like personal stigmas or things like that, you don't experience that at the same level that you would as a an adult, right? So like I think like when it comes to kids, like kids are more, I think kids are naturally going to be more expressive, especially, you know, because it's just like you just don't have those things to kind of like shape your worldview and really influence those thoughts because they're just not there, you know. Very rarely. I mean, it's like sometimes they can be there. I'm not saying like it would never be there, but like for the most part, most circumstances, like most people don't that are in their younger years don't really have those kind of worries, right? Because I remember when I was younger, I was impressed to be like, oh my god, like I have to, I need to find this job where I need to be able to work this and make this money and blah 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 blah, blah, blah all this shit. I wasn't really like thinking like that. I was just like, you know, I just want to live, go to do what I want to do, work on my art, and hopefully I can become a successful artist. Now, did any of that happen? No, but it's never too late, right? It's never too late to really go do the things that you want to do with your life, and really experience your life. Because I just turned 30, right? And I just had this like recent revelation where I'm just like, I just need to get back into art. Like, I don't care what I'm doing. I don't care like what I have to stop doing, but I'm just like, I just need to get back into making art. Because if I stop making art, or if I don't make art as much, I'm just never gonna be where I'm at. And I don't like, and like all of my work that's like in my head will never ever come to fruition, right? All these ideas, all these stories, all these things I claim that I want to write and I want to do, it's never going to come to a fruition because I'm just not putting in the work to make it happen. So I just had like a little, like mental pep talk or whatever. I don't know what you mental reevaluation. And I thought to myself, I'm either going to do it now or I'm never going to do it. And not to say like you can't be like an artist in like your 40s or 50s or 60s, or what I'm saying, whichever age, like you can always pursue something, right? You could always you're never really too old to ever pursue anything. But I think for me, like I think that you only have so much life to live, right? There's only so much life that you're going to have. And I think the most important part of that is that you're doing it and you're living it passionate. You're living passionately, and you're living for yourself. If that makes sense. I don't know if that makes sense, but hopefully that makes sense. Is that you're living passionately and for yourself to the point where you have to serve yourself to a certain capacity, right? Like you can't just do every single thing. It can't just be for somebody else or somebody's company or business or what. Like you have to do things that's gonna like feed your soul and make you happy, right? So I think that's the conclusion that I recently came to. Because I first of all, I had a lot of like issues this year, especially when it came to work. Oh my god. I think this is probably like my worst year when it came to like working. It was just such a bad year, man. Like I'm not gonna lie. Like I had quit one of my jobs in last December, and I was just like, fuck it. Like I'm gonna try to find a better job. I eventually did find a better job. Then the job laid off my whole team. Whole team got laid off, y'all. Crazy shit. But before that, I had found another part time job. Before that, hated that shit. But I was like, I kind of need to pay bills because I didn't have unemployment because I just quit the job. I didn't like try to get fired, right? So I was like, now I need unemployment. Fuck. But I couldn't get unemployment, and it was just like, all right, like now I need to just work something in between so that I can have like more income, so that I'm not struggling to like eat, right? So it was just like a mess. It was a mess, y'all. Like it was a mess of a year. Mess of a year, right? And I mean, I'm doing better now. Like the job that I've acquired recently, it's okay. I'm definitely traumatized from work. I will admit that, and I've never claimed that before, but I'm definitely traumatized to the point where I'm not functioning the way I used to be able to function in a work environment. Like I just feel like I don't know what I'm doing. I feel like I'm always lost. I feel like it's just like everything is just confusing, right? I'm just like, what am I doing? How do I do this? Like I should know how to do this, but I don't. I don't. And it's funny because one of my managers, well, my boss, I don't know, manager, boss, whatever. Either way, the person in charge, right? And I was doing something, and then he's like, why did you do it like that? He's like, you move like somebody that's never been in this kind of environment before. Mind you, I've been doing this shit for like 10 plus years. So I laughed a little bit, but it was true. Like, and I'm not offended by it. Like I know like mentally like I'm just not the same person that I was 5 years ago, where I would just do some shit like that and I would just like kill it. And I'm like, yeah, I know how to do this. I got this. Boom, boom, boom. Like 1, 2, 3. Like I've just come to the realization that I'm not the same person, and I just need to be able to keep this job so that I could save up some money and be in a better place financially. But I like when I really came to that realization, I was like, damn, like I really am not able to like finesse how I used to be able to finesse. But it is what it is. Like that's life. You win some, you lose some. I'm not mad about it. I'm just trying to hold on to the job as long as I can, and that's just what it's going to be. But it's definitely it's just such a struggle sometimes because I'm like, because I'm just like, damn, like I really don't want to set myself back in a financial situation. And it's like I'm saying all of this, like I have money saved up, like I have money in my savings, like I'm not financially struggling, right? Like even if I didn't work that job, I would still be fine. I think mentally, like for me, and I don't know if anybody else is like that. It's like I just need a certain amount of money in my savings account because like you just never know when shit's gonna happen. Like you just never know. Like I had a car accident 2 years ago, like things shit like that, and it's just like you just never know when you're gonna have some shit happen, right? Like you just always have to be prepared. Like like life is just full of surprises, and you just have to be prepared for like when shit pops off. Like I just don't want to be in a situation where I'm like begging people for like money, and not to say like like you shouldn't be able to have people that you can depend on. But I just don't want to be in that kind of predicament. You know what I'm saying? Like I just don't want to be in that kind of predicament, and I can't talk. But I just I'm just like I'm just like I'm getting so stressed over like just thinking about that. But I can't do it, man. I can't do it. I can't do it. Hopefully this is gonna be more red. It's an okay red. It looks more orange than red. But yeah, like I don't know, like when it comes to art and finances, I think that's always kind of been the push and pull of like the modern day artist of the of that kind of like existing in the modern day as a creative, even if you're not like even if you're not necessarily like like you painter or art or that kind of thing, if any form of like creative, this is a struggle that I see a lot of people go through, and it's really not easy to overcome. And the truth is, it's like this society that we live in is very oppressive. We live in a very oppressive society, especially if you live in America. One thing like I will say this, like if you get a chance and you could like leave America and like maybe you could live in like Europe. And I'm not saying like Europe is like the bane of civilization. I'm really not trying to say that. Please understand what I'm trying to say. But there are better countries to live in than America. I ain't gonna lie. If I could move back to Jamaica, I would. But like, I need a house and I need like some land. I need my own property before I really can consider that kind of move. But honestly speaking, like if I could move back and like have all the things that I want, I would do it. I would fucking do it. Because life shouldn't be this fucking hard. And I don't care what anybody said. Like, it really should not be this hard. Like, people should not be struggling the way that they're struggling. And, like, I don't know. Like, it's just, like everything's just, like, I don't know. Like, this is, it's frustrating for sure. And it's just like you feel like you can't ever catch like a break. And I think that's kind of like the most disheartening part of this whole like situation where you're like, you feel like you want to do the things that you want to do, but then here comes the big green monster, and here comes bills, and then here comes medical bill. Like, I went to the doctor the other day, y'all. I had to do some labs because I really, I'll say this on here. I'll never admit this outside of this. It's like, so if anybody sees me that knows, anybody that knows me that sees this, just know, like, I'll never admit this out in public because honestly, I think it's really bad. I haven't been in a doctor in like 5, 6 plus years, and number one, I didn't always have proper health insurance. Number two, it just wasn't a thing that I would do because even when I was because I used to work at Whole Foods. I used to work at Whole Foods, and I had health insurance. I just never went to the doctor. I just never went to the doctor. I went to the dentist because I needed to go to I can't talk. I needed to go to the dentist because I had to get a root canal, and I had to get some stuff done with my teeth, and I waited forever to get that shit done. So by the time I needed to do it, it was in such an extreme state. That again, shit. That's my fault. That I created that problem at that point. That was just me being dumb. But I haven't been to a doctor in so long, right? So like now I wasn't insured, but I am gonna get insurance soon. But like when I tell you, like, they sent me a fucking bill, right? And that shit was almost $3,000. I'm like, just to do a blood test, $3,000. My medical debt is no joke, and I'm like, I know I'm gonna get insurance to pay it off. Like, so, like, actually, like, it'll be covered. So like, but it's whatever. But I just know that I was like, damn, like to do some labs, $3,000. Oh my god, I did labs before. I don't think they were as extensive because this one was like tested like diabetes. They like ran like my liver, all types of shit. They did, and they were like, you're pre-diabetic. No, I'm not pre-diabetic. You're almost pre-diabetic. So slow down on the sweets, slow down on the sugar. And I was like, oh, cool, cool. I'll try. I am doing the worst job with that, but I'm trying. But it's a real shit job. But like medical debt, y'all, is no, especially in America, no joke. No joke, no joke, because it's just like you want to run somebody's blood test, and that shit is $3,000. $3,000. I was like, whoa, this country don't give a fuck about nobody, and it's just like, and I think this is one thing that really influenced my writing when it comes to like my stories and shit like that. It's just how fucked up like of a system that we live in, and I'm just like I want to write about that so bad, and I'm going to. Right, I'm going to. But it's just so crazy to like experience that, and I'm just like, damn, like, And it's like I have money to pay it off, but I'm like I wouldn't even dare to attempt to pay that shit out of pocket. That's crazy work. That's crazy work. But the fact that it's like it's still a thing, like, oh, here's your bill. Fuck you. What? Here's your bill, mother. Like, what the frick, yo, y'all? This country's in shambles, and I don't care about who sides it, like I don't have a favorite politician or none of that shit. I don't have any of those ideals. And I know somebody said something about like an artist shouldn't get like but like art in and of itself is political. So there's that. But I mean, like, I think if you want to be an artist, right, and you want to not rock the boat, that's okay too. Everybody can create whatever they want to create, and it's, in my opinion, I think it's fine. Make what you want to fucking make. But I think people kind of like definitely misconstrue like when when artists do get political, because it's just like, do y'all not know that art is political? Like, and if you read like, and I'll use a couple examples, like One Piece. One Piece is super political, super political, and people were like, no, it's not. It's pirates. I was like, yo, like y'all not under, what? It's like the pirate crew versus the whole fucking world government. Y'all don't think that's political? Like, are we? What's not clicking? What's not clicking? What's not clicking? The Luffy, the Straw Hat Pirates liberating countries, liberating islands of people. Like, what? What do y'all mean? Like, what are we talking about? Like, it most definitely is political. It's just not. It's not direct politics like how we view it, how we view politics. But if you have two fucking brain cells, you could look at that shit and be like, oh my god, that is political. Oh my god, that looks like a situation happening right now in real life. Like it's very much like, and it's so crazy because like a lot of times, I feel like this falls into reading comprehension and media literacy, right? A lot of people aren't as media literate as they should be, right? A lot of people are just not the level of that just not have the level of media literacy to really even get some of these points that like I'm trying to make. A lot of people aren't there, right? And I'm gonna use a big example, and I think this is the most obvious example of like especially like in art or like entertainment or anime. If you watch Full Metal Alchemist, what did you think the Ishvalan War was about? What are the people that were being portrayed? Who do you think the Ishvalans were if they were in real life people? Right? I'm gonna give y'all some time to think about it. Give y'all some time to process that. If you watch Full Metal Alchemist, Brotherhood or the first series, either one, they're both good. Brotherhood is the true to the writing, to the author's writing. But who do y'all think the Ishvalan people was about? It was about Palestine. Right? And it's like, I don't know if I should be saying Palestine in my videos because, YouTube be censoring everything. But it was heavily inspired by that situation happening right now. And we're still on witnessing it. You know what I'm saying? So the the fact that a lot of people can't really put two and two together and be like, oh shit, like, because y'all gotta remember, what is it, like, life imitates art and art imitates life. Like, they're synonymous, they go together. They're peanut butter and jelly, right? They go together real bad, y'all. So a lot of times, and I and I don't think people like are dismissive of that one, because I feel like Full Metal Alchemist is definitely like super kind of in your face with it, like and it doesn't specifically spell it out, but like common sense will tell you. And if you know, if you are if you're like, if you're literate in world news and things outside of just how do I explain it, if you're literate about international affairs, then you're gonna easily gonna be able to put two and two together and be like, oh shit, that is about Palestine, right? That is a big chunk of what the author was trying to portray, and have people be able to see and interpret that, right? Another one is, I don't know, what's another one. It's actually solely a manga, right? And it's called Akumetsu. Oh my god, I can't even. I forgot how I even discovered that, because it wasn't even an anime, right? It's never been animated. I think I was just looking for a manga to read, and I was just like, I think I typed in like mature, or I don't know what I typed in, right? I typed in some shit because I think I was like reading some one shots, and I was like, oh, these are dope. These are dope. I want to read something else. And I don't know what I searched up, but I typed in something. I think I typed in like a older, mature, something themed. I don't know. Because I think at the time I was reading Fairy Tale. Like, I watched a couple Fairy Tale episodes, side note, but I just could not get into the animation. It just was not doing it for me. But I liked Fairy Tale, the series, as like, as a whole, in terms of like the illustrations, the artwork by the actual author. But side note, that was a side note. But when I found this series, I was just like, what is this shit about? Like what? I really like the artwork. The artwork was very detailed, very good. And and the dude was just out on like a rampage, just ending all these dudes. Like he was just taking he was taking people out left, right, and center. And then there was like no explaining how he was able to do it, because it would always be multiple versions of him, right? And then when he would take somebody out, he would also take himself out. Like, it was like it was suicide mission, right? And it was always the case. And it's like, how was he able to do this? Like, this was an interesting story. And he would always target politicians. He would target corrupt politicians, and he would be like, you were doing this, and you weren't doing right by the people, and blah 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 blah. And he would accuse them first. They would deny it. They were like, no, we didn't do that shit. Blah blah blah. He would pull out the evidence. Like, he would be like, but ain't this you? But ain't that you? Right? He would pull out the tweets. That wasn't you though, right? Oh, okay. Pull out all the evidence, and then he would start torturing them to like confess that it's a crazy series. Like, if you're more into like a more politically involved / more darker themed mangas, Akametsu is definitely a great read. It's like 160, 180 chapters. Super good read. You will not be disappointed by that. Like, I recommended that. That's definitely a rec I will always give out if you're into like those kinds of themes. It's just very, it's good, and it's crazy because a lot of the people allegedly are based off a lot of people in Japan, a lot of higher up people that are in business, finance, politics, like all these like very well known, well established people that are technically corrupt, right? And we don't see it as much because like I don't live in Japan, so like I'm just not in that world. But it was just so interesting to read something like that, and I was like, this shit is kind of crazy, right? I was just like, oh my god, this is kind of, this show's kind of serious. But that's definitely one of my big ones, right? And it's not as popular, so like only a few will probably get it, like if they really if they know about it. But but my point, like, just stands, like art in and of itself will always have some form of political association, and and it doesn't always necessarily have to directly be political. There's art where it's just like, maybe it's just fun to look at and it's just beautiful. Like, if somebody paints like a sunflower, like, you think a sunflower is trying to be political? No. But I think a lot of times people purposely like to miss the point where when it's obvious, it's obvious. And I think a lot of times people don't want to admit that we live in a world that operates like the way that we depict fiction. A lot of fiction is not fiction. It's facts. A lot of times we'll see something and we'll go, "Oh damn, like, that's crazy. Oh my god." Like, and it's just like, yeah, like, some people do live like that. Some people are going through crazy shit, especially when it's like when we kind of step outside of like the fantasy aspects of like a lot of like media. Once you step out like the realm of fantasy, shit starts to get very real and 99.9% accurate, just because a lot of people do operate like that inadvertently, like, right. I'm gonna give another example, like Squid Games. Like, if you watch Squid Games, I know in my soul that shit's happening in real life. I know in my soul, right? I ain't gonna always be able to prove some shit, but I know in my soul that shit's happening in real life. I know for a fact that shit is popping off in real life. Like, people are playing real life Squid Games to survive and get money and get abducted. Oh, please. I know in my soul that shit is happening. You can't tell me otherwise. I don't care if you people if I come off as like a conspiracy theorist or whatever. I know for a fact that shit happens, because guess what? People with money do fucked up shit all the time and they get away with it. And they get away with it. So who am I to sit here and say, "Oh yeah, that's not real. That could never happen." Please. The only thing that really is that makes it kind of hard to really point out is a lot of these things are just done in the shadows. A lot of these things happen where we can't see it. That's really what it boils down to. We just can't see it. Hold on, I gotta put oh my god, I use all. I have a wood stove and I use all. I should be making some rice. The only issue, we just can't see that shit. That's really all that is. We just can't see it. That's all. We just can't see it to prove the evidence that it's happening. Please. People with money, and I don't want to come off as like, what's the word? I don't want to come off as a jaded person, right? But we've seen plenty of times, time and time again, people with an absorbent amount of wealth, of prosperity, and what do? They hoard it. They don't share it. They think it's up to them. They don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like, I and I don't want to say like every person with money is like a fucked up person. You're just straight up evil and blah blah blah, all this shit. I'm not gonna go that far. But I will say, and I think this comes down to just be like, this is a human experience, right? When it comes to greed. Greed knows no bounds when it comes to humans. Like, it just doesn't, right? And I think a lot of times these things can be developed. Sometimes they're inherent in somebody, and sometimes people develop it, right? So sometimes it's not even, it's inevitable, right? Sometimes there are people that really truly know how to give and are very philanthropic, and just knows what to do and how to share that wealth and prosperity, right? Because not everybody's gonna be living like Jeff Bezos, and I think Jeff Bezos really could be doing a lot more to improve the quality of life of people as a whole, especially for the people that's working for him, for Amazon. But again, they're not doing that anymore because there's no sense of incentivizing it, because people are going to still try to find a job. People are desperate for work, and they don't feel like they need to do that anymore. Like back in the days, back in the 60s, back in the 70s, when people be like, we going on strike, fuck that shit. Like, they went on strike, they had their demands met, because at the end of the day, the company realized they can't do this shit without the people. But the unfortunate part is some of these companies are so big where they're like, oh, y'all gonna go on strike? Okay, fuck it, cut everybody. We'll get a new set of people. Because there's so much scarcity, and there's just so much people struggling where, they could take advantage of people like that, and not give people the right things that they need to survive and live, right? And that's why it's like, it's so hard when you have like for me, like, I'm always thinking about shit like this. It's so hard sometimes because, like, for me, like, I want to do so much, right? And I'm not saying this as an excuse to not do anything, because I'm gonna still try. But it's just like this, the level of struggle that we experience as people. It's just like, it's so manufactured. Like, people should not be struggling this much, man. People should not be struggling this much. Like, it's just not. I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know how to, like, describe it. Like, it's just like, it feels so manufactured. Like, it feels so, and it just doesn't feel humane. Like, we all need to go to the doctor. We all need to, like, you know what I'm saying? We all need to eat healthier foods and shit like that, and live better. But everything just feels intentionally difficult to do, right? Like, you want to eat healthier, but healthy food is more expensive than, like, junk food, and it's I don't know. It's a But that doesn't mean you shouldn't try. Because at the end of the day, like, especially when it comes to your health, you should always try. But it really is hard out here for a pimp. It really is not easy, and it's just not, like, it's not an ideal way to live life. And I genuinely feel that things can be better, especially, like, if you live in this country, right? I think it could be better. But everybody kind of has to have to get to the point where we decide as a whole, like, no, like, this isn't okay. Like, people shouldn't live this way. And I feel like a lot of things are. I feel like human rights are too up for debate, especially in America. Y'all notice that shit? Human rights be up for debate every day in fucking America. Like, it's so weird to me. Like simple shit that you would think, be like, okay, yeah, cool, like, let's do that. You'd be like, no, how can we afford that? Well, I'm like, all this shit that we do is made up. I don't know if people realize this. Like, I think this is, to me, is what, like, really throws me off. I don't think people realize we live in a system that we made the fuck up years ago. We made all this shit up before I was born, before anybody living right now was born. All this shit was made up. None of this shit really matters. We live in a fucking rock that's spinning in the middle of space. None of this shit matters. Realistically speaking, none of it matters. And not to say, like, don't do anything, don't live, don't try to experience this nothing in life, but, like, realistically speaking, a lot of this shit don't matter. Like we could all live in houses. We could all have yard. Like I don't know. It's a weird like living on Earth as a human is a weird experience because animals don't do this shit. Animals get born and they just start living, and I'll never see animal ever try to pay rent. Like what? Like like who invented rent? Who invented rent, bro? Seriously, who came up with that concept? Like that, it's so weird to me. I think I'm done with this. I think I'm gonna. I think I'm gonna kind of wrap this video up because I've been talking for like an hour. But that was my rant. But if you got something out of this, let me know. But end conclusion, which you know what I wanted to do anyways, but the end conclusion of this video is just live your life, do what you want to do. Don't take things so seriously. Like it's okay to want to experience things and accomplish things for yourself, right? But also I think if you're in the process of like destroying yourself, I don't think you should do it. I don't think that's healthy. So that's my 2 cents. But I think that's gonna be the end of the video. And I'm gonna try to just finish up this painting, get some crisp lines in here. I didn't even talk about the painting one bit. This is a little illustration of my main character of this story that I'm currently writing right now, and the kind of the idea behind it um, is that I just wanted to start a little comic book series that I knew that it wasn't going to be perfect, right? I know for a fact that it's going to have a lot of issues. We're going to have our oopsies. It's just not going to be. Is this. It's just not going to be. Hold on. Where the fuck was that? It's just not gonna be where I want it to be, right? And I'm okay with that. And the reason I'm okay with that is because I gotta start somewhere, right? And if I don't start, I'll never get anywhere, right? So I just had this thought process where I was just like, you know what? We're gonna start something, and we're gonna see where it goes. We're gonna try to commit, and we're gonna give ourselves an actual chance to get to get somewhere, right? So that's kind of like the goal right now with this little series that I'm working on. I don't know how long I'll probably make it, but it's it's a work in progress. I'm not gonna really drive myself too crazy about it. Like like I have like certain ideas that I want to execute with it, but I'm not like I'm at the point where I'm just like I just need to do something, right? Because I used to have a couple series that I would upload on like Tapastic, and then like nothing came of it, and I just stopped doing it. I was just like, oh, I don't like the artwork, I don't like this, I don't like this, and like I think I was watching like Panty and Stocking, and I was like, oh my god, I need to make a series like this. I'm gonna start. And then halfway through, I was like, oh my god, I hate this. Oh my god, I can't do it. I can't. All this shit, right? So this is like a challenge, right? That's how I'm looking at it. Anyways, it's a challenge of consistency. That's kind of how I have to look at it, and that's the only way I'm going to look at it, right? Like I don't care if I think the writing's bad, or if it's like the artwork is sloppy or whatever. Like that's okay. That's okay. That's not a big deal, because nobody starts out fucking Da Vinci. Nobody starts out as Beethoven. Actually, yeah, right? You still need to practice, you still need to do work. You still need to be able to work on your skills. That's gonna make you happy, right? And I specifically say you happy because at the end of the day, you have to like what you do. Especially when it comes to art. And I know a lot of people kind of get caught up in making art in terms of what other people want, but at the end of the day, most people make art because they enjoy it. And I think you should make something that you're going to be happy with. Make something that you're going to be proud of. And develop something that is going to be a part of you and how you are as a person, right? Versus what other people are telling you how you should be. So I think that's just like a really big part of why I'm kind of just trying to push through with this project. Hopefully I'll get the first chapter out by the end of the year. I already got like, how many pages do I have? Hold on. I have a good decent amount of pages. I mean, they're like mainly sketches right now, and I'm going to leave them sloppy. The style is going to be a little sloppy. It's gonna be a little mess. It's fine. It's fine. She's gonna give that. It's fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I have like 20 pages. And they're not big pages, so it's like easier to finish a page. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Oh. No, I have 16 pages. My bad. We got like 16. So I'm going to try to do like 20 pages. Well, not 20. I'm going to try to get up to 20 pages today, so that I'm a little bit more caught up. I think I can get to like 24. But also I want to get like my references down, so that when I'm drawing, I have better references to like look at and able to like implement better in the artwork, so that I have more dynamic stuff to implement. But like I said, it's day by day. Like I'm not I'm not putting this expectation on me anymore where I'm like it has to be like this level of perfection and or it's just not good. Like I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I'm not gonna drive myself crazy because it's not fair. Like why do I want like why should I willingly put myself through that mental anguish? You know what I'm saying? Like why do all that? It's not fair. It's not necessary. It's definitely not like this isn't like my passion project though. I will say that I have a my passion project. Oh, that bitch is long. It's not. It wouldn't be as long as One Piece, but like I think, um, you know, for me, I don't know if it'll ever be a thing that comes to fruition. I have other stories that I've like developed mainly in my head that's like way shorter and still more compelling, but like I have this one story in my head. I got this one story in my head, y'all. The way, like, I feel like once I get to that level of, yeah, like I can do that shit. I'm gonna go for it. And I think the hardest thing for me right now is just myself. That's it. I think just the hardest thing right now is just, you know, just getting in my own way. But everything is day by day. I don't know why I made this green and blue. I don't know why. But I'm done. Um, this was kind of like an easy sketch for me, anyways. Like I always draw this position. Like I always like that angle. I'm super easy angle to draw. But I do like the colors, y'all. Like the colors are really vibrant. I'm living for the colors, right? The colors are super vibrant. The red doesn't look orange anymore, so I like that. Um, my shadows are kind of ass a little bit because like right here, I just wasn't sure if I wanted to. I don't know. But overall, I like this. It's cool. It's cool. Looks cool. Looks dope. So and these are food colorings too. So like if you, I want to. Some of these mostly are food coloring. Some of them are like Craft Smart acrylic. Craft Smart paints are dirt cheap. You can get these at Michael's for like 50 cents, 60 cents, $1, like $1 a bottle, super cheap. And I like acrylic colors because and I like when I dilute it because it doesn't rub out. Like it's there. It's when it's there. It's there. It doesn't like it's acrylic. It stains the paper like, and you can't really get rid of it. So it's very permanent. But I like that about it. I like when things are permanent because I don't. Because when it's permanent, I don't get fixated on trying to fix it when I don't like it. I'm like, okay, it's permanent. It's there. Fuck it. You got to keep it pushing, right? But thank you guys for watching. If you watched the video, if not, I hope that you still try to watch as much as you can. I know my videos are long. I'm contemplating splitting this in half because I think that's definitely a thing that I used to do on my other channel. But yeah, we're gonna have more topics. Might have another anime heavy topic for the next video. I might record later today or tonight. I don't know, but thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. And if you guys have any ideas or like anything that you want to see me go over, definitely let me know because I have a lot of ideas, and I'm trying to stockpile in videos right now. So hopefully I can get more content out at least on a weekly basis. That's the goal. And I'm gonna try to be more consistent with this channel because I had my other channel and I just stopped being consistent. It revolved around my dating life, and I first of all, I'm fucking dating men, so I don't know. It fucking sucks. Like, men suck. I can't. But this is the end of the video. Thank you guys for watching. Appreciate y'all. I will see y'all in the next video.